I'm going to need a monster for this one. So I think we have the full Download Festival 2022 lineup now. I think it's all there. It's time for me to react to this entire thing and tell you my thoughts on it. You know the drill. Download Festival 2022. Would it be fair to say I find it extremely disappointing? Yeah, I think that's a fair summary of my thoughts on this lineup. But like I say, I'm going anyway. I can't really complain. I understand that festivals are coming back. It's all great. I should just appreciate what I've got. I'm trying to do that, believe me. I really am. Friday, probably my favourite day of the festival. Definitely my favourite day of the festival. We have Kiss headlining. I've never seen Kiss before. I guess I'd like to see Kiss once in my life. I really don't know that many songs by them, apart from the biggest hits. So that'll be it's somewhat cool, I guess. But honestly, I wouldn't lose any sleep over never seeing them. So, like, you know, obviously rock and roll. It's a headline. It's a rock festival. Cool. Love them or hate them. They're definitely suitable for the festival. Under that, we have one of my favourite bands, and definitely one that's making this lineup for me, A Day to Remember. Really excited to see them. I've only ever seen these once at Download 2017, and funnily enough, I didn't listen to them very much back then, so I didn't really appreciate what I was watching. I was kind of sat back on the grass for most of them, to be honest, so I'm really going to go for it this time. I'll be right in the crowd. Skindred. This got announced yesterday. This band got announced yesterday, and if there was a band that Download recycle and use constantly, it's fucking Skindred. I am sick of seeing this band on the lineup. I don't like Skindred. I can appreciate it's cool when everyone does the fucking t-shirt spinning, what's it called, Newport helicopter. It looks cool from a distance. Every time they've been at Download, I've always not been in the crowd. I've always seen it from a distance, so it's an amazing view, to be honest. It's very much a festival. I just think Download should be choosing other bands at this point. This is really repetitive. Speaking of repetitive bands, I don't know if it's fair to call Black Veil Brides a repetitive one. They are one of my favourites. I'm definitely excited to see them, but they are on this lineup a lot. And out of all the bands that I love, I'd rather be seeing other bands on this lineup than Black Veil Brides these days. Bury Tomorrow, solid choice, really cool. I'm glad to see them on the main stage. Last time I saw them at this festival, they were on the second stage, so Bury Tomorrow, can't go wrong. Then we got Theory and Wayward Sons. I can't say anything on these two bands as I don't listen to them, but I'm sure they're solid choices as well. That's definitely the most emo day that we're getting on this festival. Moving on to the second stage, I'm going to kind of just rush through the rest of this day now. On the second stage, we got The Distillers, Airborne, Lacuna Coil, Miles Kennedy and Company. I've generally never listened to any of these artists before. I think I've heard Airborne and The Distillers like once, and obviously Miles Kennedy is cool. Moving on to the Avalanche stage, we've got The Ghost Inside, Sleep Token. Sleep Token is someone I'm seeing a lot about recently. And I listened to them a few times, and I don't get it. I don't get what the thing is. I expected them to be like this really heavy band, because, I don't know, it just sounds like one of those really heavy bands. And they're not. They're not really, from what I've heard anyway, they're not that heavy. So can someone please explain to me what the big deal of Sleep Token is? To be honest, that's a pretty boring stage to me, I'm sorry. Not as boring as this, though. We got the Dogtooth stage, fourth stage, Electric Wizard, Blue Pills, Red Fang, British Lion. Not to be disrespectful to any of these newer, smaller bands, but I have no fucking clue who most of those are. I'm all for getting into new bands, and I'll probably give a bunch of these bands a listen. Because it'd be nice to have some extra bands to see at this festival this year. Moving on to Saturday, Iron Maiden headlining. Great, cool. Am I interested whatsoever in Iron Maiden? Not really. To be honest, they're probably the most interesting headliner on that day for me. So yeah, I'll be seeing Iron Maiden. And I can't really complain about the Download headliners on the main stage, because it's a rock and roll festival and they're always going to pick the same sort of bands. So yeah, Deftones. Deftones are actually a band I do like, and solid choice for the festival. They're going to be great. They're going to be great at opening for Iron Maiden. Shinedown, another cool band. I know, that's the thing, I know a lot of these bands will draw in a massive crowd anyway. They're just not bands that I really personally listen to. The Pretty Reckless, really cool choice. I'm excited to finally be able to see the Pretty Reckless. We got Black Label Society, Monster Truck, Those Damn Crows, and the Raven Age. On the second stage, we have Megadeth, Mastodon, Daughtry, Bush, Code Orange, Ice Nine Kills, Malevolence. They're cool bands. I like those. I'm just saying the same thing, basically. I'm underwhelmed. On the Avalanche stage, we have Funeral for a Friend, Creeper, The Fame, Grandson, Holding Absence, Loathe, Dragged Under, Salem, and Blackout Problems. Creeper and Holding Absence, probably two of the bands I will possibly see on there, maybe Loathe as well. I swear Funeral for a Friend get used a lot as well on this stage as the headliner, and they've never really gone up anywhere else. The one thing that really annoys me about this festival that I love so much, they use the same bands, Electric Wizard, Funeral for a Friend, Skindred. I see these names, it seems like they're on the lineup every single year. There's just so many other bands that they could be using, so it's annoying. And finally on the Dog 2 stage you have Sepultura, Dying Fetus, Bleed From Within, Venom Prison, Will Haven. Again, barely heard of a single one of those bands. Open to checking some of them out because I really do wish I had more Dog 2 stage bands. And finally, moving on to the Sunday, my personal favourite headliner, Biffy Clyro. I'm really excited to see Biffy. I've never been more of a bigger fan of them than I am now, so it'll be really cool, yeah. And opening for that band, we got Korn. I bet a lot of people would prefer that to be the other way around. I can see. So to be honest, I'm surprised that Korn aren't the headliner when Korn are huge and have been in the metal rock community for surely longer than Biffy Clyro. I'm not sure. Did they come out around the same time? And Volbeat as well. I feel like both of these bands are a lot more popular than Biffy. Again, just like in 2017 when the crowd was actually bigger at Rob Zombie on the second stage than it was at Biffy. It was insane, and they've gone again and booked Biffy again. I'm not complaining, but I just know a lot of people hate it, and they're going to hate on it anyway. Under Volbeat, we got Rise Against. Nice to see them a bit more up on the main stage. And then there's Ailstorm as well, and Powerwolf. Wargasm. Wargasm are cool. It's a pretty alright main stage, I suppose. On the second stage, we have Steel Panther, massively popular. It's going to be a hard one because I want to see Korn and I want to see Biffy. So with Steel Panther, that might actually be the one band that I have a clash with this whole festival. The Darkness, Skillet, Wednesday 13, Massive Wagons. I swear Massive Wagons and Wednesday 13 are also on this lineup a lot. Descendants, Boston Manor, Trash Boat, Spirit Box. Courtney LaPlante is such an amazing vocalist. Honestly, I can't stress this enough. I feel like Spirit Box are going to draw in a massive crowd anyway. If you've not checked out Spirit Box, please check them out. This band are going to be insane. I'm glad that they've moved up the lineup as well. They were actually on the 4th stage. And since this band was announced, people have enjoyed them so much and they've grown such a fan base that Download have actually moved them up the lineup slightly, so that's cool. So yeah, well done Download for that one. I can appreciate that very much. On the Dog 2 stage, we have Miles Kennedy acoustic performance. Sounds interesting. I don't know if I'll be able to see it. Probably not, to be honest, because of everybody else that's on around that time. Yonica, Twin Temple, Fire from the Gods, Orbit Culture, Kill the Lights, Modern Era, Thick Feet. I swear I should just ignore this stage most of the time. It's always so disappointing how little I know on there. And that is the lineup. What do I think about it as a whole? I think it's probably one of the worst Download lineups ever. Maybe that is being a bit harsh, but generally I think it is one of the weakest, most boring, most recycled lineups they've ever made. And judging by a lot of the comments on their socials, a lot of people are agreeing with this and a lot of people are noticing. I've been saying this for the past couple of years that Download use the same bands a lot and it's just boring. But again, this festival hasn't happened for a couple of years, properly anyway. So I've got to appreciate it and I've got to, I don't have to go to this thing. Nobody's making me go. I want to go. And I always say this, I always say it. Even if the money is not fully worth the bands, it's worth everything else. The atmosphere, the incredible time I'll have, the first 2 days especially. Meeting people, meeting fans of the channel, going to the doghouse, seeing the village, just walking around the camps, watching a beautiful Download sunset on all the tents. Everything about this place has made this channel, has made me in a way. I can't even tell you how much I've missed this place. When it's a lineup that is this weak for me, it really is disappointing. It hits me, It really is disappointing. And I don't want to hate it. I'm trying my hardest to like it, but it's like they don't listen and they just put whatever they want on there, even though it's the same bands that they always have. And I understand a lot of bands can't make the dates. A lot of bands that were on this lineup for 2020, 2021 have had to pull out because they're either in America or they're scheduled for other things. A couple of examples are of Mice and Men were recently on this lineup and they're not now. Motionless in White, Wage War. I'll never understand why Download never book bands like Architects either. They had While She Sleeps headline last year, but they'll never actually put While She Sleeps on a normal lineup, and I don't understand why. Because these bands are incredible. These British bands are making fucking rock right now. Enter Shikari, Bring Me the Horizon. They're drawing enormous crowds. They put on an amazing show. They never book these bands. I don't understand why. Even if this lineup isn't my favourite at all, I can appreciate a lot of people will love it. I'm sorry if I insulted one of your favourite bands in this video. I really hope that it changes. I really hope that next year they shock me. And at the end of the day, as they say, beggars can't be choosers. I want a festival. This festival is my best bet of getting a full 5-day one. I'm extremely excited to buy a ticket and make it all official. It's happening. We've got festivals back. Fuck COVID. I just have to appreciate what I've got, really. Cheers for watching this video, guys. Like I keep saying, I'm sorry it was so negative. But It's all about opinions. If you're new here and you enjoy festival content, especially download festival content, I have a bunch of that on my channel. I've got a bunch of download festival vlogs from previous years that are all pretty insane, very enjoyable watches, all of them. I also react to and talk about other festivals as well. If any of that appeals to you, please consider clicking subscribe. Let's just all appreciate the festival for what it is. See you all there, and I'll be back soon with some new festival content.